Welcome to a new deep dive. Today we're really digging into your sources, all about this concept, this idea of surrender to the Holy Spirit. Our mission really is to unpack what surrender actually means, why it's often, such a challenge for us, and also the surprising kind of transformative benefits the material suggests come with embracing it.
Yeah, it's a topic that really touches directly on that very human thing, doesn't it? That desire for control we all wrestle with. And what's fascinating about these notes is how they suggest that letting go, paradoxically, can lead to much deeper clarity and peace. So we'll be pulling out the core insights from these documents, not just the what of surrender, but more importantly, why it matters for your life.
Okay, let's dive right in then. What immediately jumped out, I think, from the very first pages was how these sources sort of redefine surrender. It's not, like many people might think, about weakness or just, accidentally giving up.
No, not at all.
Instead, the material really hammers home that it's a conscious thing, a deliberate choice. It's about releasing that intense need we feel for striving, for overthinking everything.
And what's deeply insightful there is the why. Why do people resist it so much? The sources suggest it's often rooted in a fear, right? A fear of loss, believing you'll lose control or agency.
Right, like you're giving something essential up.
Exactly. But the perspective here is precisely the opposite. It's framed as being about gaining something profound, gaining purpose, real peace, and a sense of fulfillment, all by aligning with this higher guidance, what the notes call divine favor. It's presented as an exchange, really, not a loss.
Okay, and that idea of exchange leads us to a really crucial point the sources make. It's potentially uncomfortable, but important. The danger in just leading yourself, relying only on your own understanding.
Yes.
The material argues quite strongly, actually, that self-reliance, which we often celebrate, can ironically lead to what they call unnecessary struggles, confusion, even significant regret.
And if we look at the bigger picture they paint, relying purely on your feelings or even just your own logic, however sharp it is, well, according to these sources, that can cause you to miss a much, much broader plan.
Like tunnel vision.
Sort of, yeah. They actually cite Proverbs 14.0, warning that a path that seems perfectly right to us in our own eyes can end up leading to, consequences. And the struggle, they explain, often comes from a false sense of security, which is really rooted in fear, isn't it?
Trying to manage everything.
That constant, exhausting attempt to micromanage every outcome, it just breeds more stress, more disappointment. Surrender, on the other hand, is described as this radical exchange. You trade your limited, finite view for what the sources call God's infinite wisdom.
Like swapping a tiny keyhole view for the whole blueprint. That's a powerful image.
It is.
So, okay, if surrender means aligning with this wisdom, this guidance, the big question then becomes, how do you actually hear it? The sources say pretty consistently that this guidance, the Holy Spirit, is always speaking, always available. But the challenge is, it's us, our reception. They talk about spiritual noise.
That internal clutter.
Exactly. That internal noise, worries, doubts, the endless mental lists. It can just drown out that quiet whisper. Static, basically.
So the practical question is, how do we cut through it? How do we tune in better? And the material gives some surprisingly actionable advice here. First, making intentional space. Silence.
Just being quiet.
Well, yes, but more than just external quiet. It's about deliberately clearing out the mental and emotional clutter, too. Second, they suggest increasing your sensitivity. How? By obeying even the small promptings you get.
Oh, interesting. Like practice.
Kind of like exercising a muscle, yeah.
Yeah.
The idea seems to be that responding to small nudges builds responsiveness for bigger guidance. They also mention paying attention to divine repetition, recognizing themes that pop up in different ways, like little hints from the universe.
Okay, so patterns. Not just hearing the same thing twice.
Exactly. And finally, recognizing the peace his voice brings, even when things are uncertain, that sense of inner calm. And also, not ignoring those sudden convictions, those clear, immediate inner knowings.
Wow, okay. Those are really helpful, practical ways to think about tuning in. So for anyone listening thinking, okay, this sounds like a path worth exploring, what's the payoff? What does the material say happens when you truly embrace this daily choice?
Well, the benefits described in your sources, they're profound, really profound. They talk about experiencing supernatural peace, which isn't just, the absence of problems.
Right, not just calm because things are calm.
Exactly. It's a deep stillness inside, even when chaos is swirling outside, an inner anchor. Then there's divine acceleration, things falling into place, opportunities lining up almost supernatural.
Sleeves moving faster.
Or maybe just aligning perfectly, doors opening at just the right time. That's the sense you get. The sources also highlight spiritual clarity, cutting through confusion, bringing real focus, and protection from unnecessary pain, guiding you around detours you didn't even know were there.
That sounds incredibly valuable.
It does, and also divine provision, getting the resources, the strength you need. It leads to freedom from fear, they say, and ultimately stronger faith. But the core insight, I think, is that it's not presented as a one-off event. It's a continuous daily decision.
Right, not a destination you arrive at.
No, it's a daily choice that, according to these sources, really begins a life filled with purpose, a partnership.
So this deep dive really shows that surrender, as presented here, isn't about giving up control in a negative way. It's not losing. It seems to be about choosing a path that these sources suggest leads to profound peace, clarity, and even acceleration in your life. A journey, like you said.
Definitely a journey. And maybe, if we connect this all back, the most provocative thought to leave with is this. What would your life actually look like if that daily choice to surrender, the one described in these compelling sources? What if it unlocked not just peace in the really big, overwhelming moments, but a consistent, unwavering sense of purpose in every single decision you face? Every day, what would that change?